Is Morgan Cheli the quiet X factor who could change UConn's 2026 to 27 season? Or are fans setting themselves up to count on a player who has barely played in 2 years? Because let's be real, this is not just about one player coming back from injury. This is about UConn's whole championship formula. No portal additions. Azzi Fudd gone. Sarah Strong carrying superstar expectations. And now a former 5-star wing with size, skill, and questions. A lot of questions. So today we're asking the debate nobody wants to say too loudly. Can UConn actually rely on Morgan Cheli?
Prime Field!
What's up, Prime Field family? Today we're breaking down one of the most interesting UConn storylines heading into next season, Morgan Cheli. And this one is spicy, because both sides have a point. The optimistic side says she's 6'2". She was ESPN's number 11 recruit in the 2024 class, a McDonald's All-American, and she showed real flashes as a passer, defender, and low-volume shooter. The skeptical side says, hold on. She played only 24 games as a freshman, missed the rest of that year after ankle surgery, then missed the entire 2025 to 26 season. That turns a normal development curve into a mystery box. So here's the roadmap. First, what Cheli actually showed on the floor. Second, why the concerns are not just fan overreaction. Third, how this connects to UConn's bigger national title chase. And finally, my prediction for what her role should be. Let's start with the pro-Cheli argument, because it is not imaginary. Morgan Cheli did not arrive at UConn as some random depth piece. UConn's official bio listed her as ESPN's number 11 recruit in the 2024 class, a 2024 McDonald's All-American, a Naismith first-team All-American, and a Jordan Brand Classic selection. As a senior at Archbishop Mitty, she averaged 15 points, 7.3 assists, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.1 steals per game. That profile matters. At 6'2", she's not just another guard. She gives UConn the kind of big perimeter connector every elite team wants, someone who can pass over smaller defenders, switch defensively, rebound from the wing, and keep the offense moving. And honestly, her freshman numbers were not bad. They were just incomplete. In 2024 to 25, Cheli played 24 games, logged 318 minutes, scored 61 points, had 58 rebounds, 30 assists, and only 15 turnovers. She shot 25 for 64 from the field and 10 for over 27 from 3. That is 39.1% overall and 37% from deep. That is not a disaster. That is a freshman saying. There is something here. The assist-to-turnover ratio jumps out too. 30 assists, 15 turnovers. That is 2-to-1. For a freshman wing in UConn's system, that tells me she was not out there panicking. She was making safe reads. But here's where the debate starts. Safe is good, efficient is good, but at UConn, not hurting you is not always enough. The biggest offensive concern is not that Morgan Cheli missed too much. It is that she did not shoot enough. She attempted only 64 shots in 318 minutes. That works out to roughly 8.1 field goal attempts for 40 minutes. And while 37% from 3 sounds promising, it came on only 27 attempts. So when fans say she looked unwilling to shoot, the numbers do not prove what was going on in her mind, but they do support the basketball concern. There's a difference between being a good shooter and being a guarded shooter. A good shooter makes open looks. A guarded shooter changes the defense. If Cheli is on the floor next year and defenders are helping off her, shrinking the lane, crowding Sarah Strong, and daring her to shoot, that becomes a problem. Because UConn does not just need players who can make shots in theory. They need players who will take them in rhythm, under pressure, in real minutes. That is the jump. Not, can Morgan Cheli shoot? The question is, can she shoot enough to make Yank defenses care? Now let's get to the other criticism, fouls. Cheli had 41 personal fouls in 318 minutes, which comes out to 5.16 fouls per 40 minutes. For a perimeter player, that is high. And this is where the fan debate gets heated. Some people say it was cheap reach-ins. Some say it looked like freshman timing. Some wonder if she was never fully healthy. But we have to be careful, the foul rate is a fact. The reason behind every foul needs film work, not just message board psychology. Still, the number matters. If you're trying to earn a real rotation role on a championship team, you cannot be a 2 fouls in 4 minutes player. You cannot come in, commit a reach, get beat, grab. and suddenly the coaching staff is afraid to leave you out there. That is the harsh truth of deep tournament basketball. The 9th player does not get endless chances. The 7th player has to be reliable. And if Cheli wants to move from intriguing prospect to March rotation piece, defending without fouling is non-negotiable. But the biggest issue is not shooting. It is not fouling, it is availability. A lot of fan concern comes from the lack of visible detail around Cheli's recovery. And I get it. When a player disappears from the rotation for a full year, fans fill in the blanks. But the cleanest version is this. In February 2025, Cheli had ankle surgery after an MRI revealed a crack in her ankle bone. She missed the rest of the 2024-25 season. Then she missed the entire 2025-26 season while recovering from that injury. As of late April 2026, reporting indicated she was expected to be healthy to start 2026-27 and work her way back into the rotation. So no, this is not just some vague mystery injury with no facts, but yes, it is still a reliability question, because Cheli has not played a college game since the 2024-25 season. That is a long runway away from live Big East games, South Carolina-level athletes, UCLA-level defense, and Final Four pressure. There's healthy, and then there is game ready. There is cleared, and then there is confident. There is practicing. And then there is playing meaningful fourth quarter minutes when Sarah Strong's being doubled and UConn needs someone to make the right read. That is the difference. Here's why this Cheli debate in Interroseth matters beyond just one roster spot. The national power map shifted. UConn went 38-1 and still did not win the championship. The Huskies lost to South Carolina 62-48 in the Final Four. UCLA beat Texas in the other semifinal, then crushed South Carolina 79-51 for the national title. That is the bar now, and UConn is entering a new phase. Sarah Strong is the franchise centerpiece after winning Naismith Player of the Year. KK Arnold is projected as a primary ball handler candidate. Ashlyn Shade, Blanca Quinones, Ali Zebul, Kaylee Heckel, and the front court pieces all matter. But Azzi Fudd's 17.3 points per game are gone. UConn is not adding through the transfer portal. The roster conversation is internal development. That means players like Morgan Cheli are not side quests, they are the plot. Because when you do not go shopping in the portal, you are betting on your own development system. You're betting that former elite recruits become dependable. You're betting that the player who flashed in year 1 missed year 2 can become real in year 3. That is a big bet. And look around the country. Texas is rising. Vanderbilt is rising. The SEC is not playing around. Texas finished 35-4, won the SEC tournament, earned a number 1 seed, reached the Final Four, and finished number 4 in the final AP poll. They beat South Carolina 78-61 in the SEC tournament final. Vanderbilt went 29-5, earned a number 2 seed, reached the Sweet 16, and Shea Ralph won Naismith Coach of the Year. Michaela Blakes became one of the most explosive scorers in the country. So the takeaway is not, UConn is falling off. Come on, they went 38-1. The takeaway is, the margin is thinner. The best teams are deeper. The athletes are bigger. The pressure is higher. And your 7th, 8th, and 9th players can decide whether you survive a bad shooting night. That is where Morgan Cheli enters the debate. So where do I land? I am not out on Morgan Cheli, not even close. The size is real, the recruiting profile is real, the passing feel is real. The 37% three-point mark, even on low volume, is something to work with. The 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio says she can process the game. But I also think it is completely fair for fans to say, I'm concerned about how much UConn can count on her. Because counting on her as an upside or rotation wildcard? Yes. Counting on her as a guaranteed major contributor? That is where I pump the brakes. The ideal Cheli role next season is not save UConn. It is not replace AZ. It is not be the missing piece by November. The ideal role is defend multiple spots without fouling, take open threes without hesitation, move the ball, rebound from the wing, and slowly force Gino to trust her in bigger moments. That is a winning role. Not flashy, not viral, but championship teams need that player. My prediction? Morgan Cheli starts the season as a cautious rotation piece, not a locked-in closer. Early on, her minutes may be uneven. Some games, she gives UConn size and connective passing. Other games, the rust shows. But if she is healthy by January and the shot confidence comes back, she could become one of the most important swing players on the roster by March. And here's the cliffhanger. UConn's title ceiling may not come down to Sarah Strong being great. We already know she's great. It may come down to whether players like Morgan Cheli become reliable enough that UConn can win when the stars are not perfect. So now I want to hear from you. Are you buying Morgan Cheli as a real UConn rotation piece next season, or do you think fans are expecting too much after the injury layoff? Drop your take in the comments, because I already know this one is going to split the fan base. Subscribe to Prime Field for more women's hoops debates, roster breakdowns, and no-fluff analysis all season long. And vote in the poll. Should UConn count on Morgan Cheli for major minutes in 2026 to 27? Comment A. If yes, she's the breakout piece. Comment B. If not yet, ease her back slowly. Comment C. If only if she shoots with confidence. Or D. If you say, I need to see her healthy first.
Prime Field.